Hello traders, how are you doing? Footy Trader here from myfootballtrading.com. And I've decided to record another video for you. It seems that you liked the previous one where I was sharing some thoughts around setting up a correct score trade for the Napoli-Roma game. So everything went according to the plan. It was a slow start as the stats were predicting, as 0-0 halftime, and then it ended 2-2. So I know that many of you ended this trade with a profit. Today I want to concentrate on a different game and also look with you at what the market is telling us and whether we can try to benefit from some value that I personally see. What game I am talking about, some of you may already have an idea. It is obviously the Champions League game between Bayern and Real Madrid, which is tomorrow. And again, we are starting with the same point. Why would we want to enter this trade before kickoff, right? Because entering the trade in play, as I also do at halftime, then you have more information. You can see how the teams are performing, what is likely to happen in second half. You can build your position around it. But when you enter the correct score market before kickoff, that there should be a value in what you're doing. So here is the, again, let's look at the market. So here is the match odds market for tomorrow's game. So the game will be played in Germany. And what is the market telling us? So the market is telling us that Bayern has more chances of winning than Real Madrid. So Bayern is better at home than Real Madrid. And, everyone has a different opinion. If you enter the exchange, the market, it's all about opinions, right? In order to, when you place a back bet, someone needs to accept it. Someone who is thinking exactly a different way than you do. Yeah, so you may have a different opinion, but again, for me, this is wrong. I'll tell you more. I mean, Real Madrid at 2.9. Wow. I mean, I would take Real Madrid to win at 2.9 every day of the week. And really, irrespective of the team they play. Unless there are some injuries. But from what I can see, from the injury list, the only player who was recently available and is not is Dani Carvajal. He is suspended for the yellow cards. Other than that, there are, of course, the goalkeeper Courtois is injured and Alaba is injured, but they were not playing recently. And that's it. There's nothing else. Real Madrid will be full strength. Bayern, on the other hand, Kingsley Coman won't play, Matthias de Ligt won't play, and a couple of players are questionable, like Serge Gnabry, Musiala, Leroy Sané, Upamecano. They are questionable. Okay. So how did both teams perform recently? If you look at Bayern, right, they we can be serious. They didn't meet the expectations in the league, right? They lost the title, and it's not that they just lost it. They are, after 31 games, they are 12 points behind Bayer Leverkusen. So it's not that they've just lost the title, they lost 6 games in the league, which didn't happen that often in the last years. And Bayer Leverkusen obviously undefeated in the league this season. So when you look at Bayern, they lost at home to Dortmund 0-2 not that long ago. They lost to Heidenheim away 3.32. Heidenheim, really. And recently they defeated Köln, team from a relegation zone, yeah. They won 2-0. Then, they demolished Union Berlin 5-1, and recently they played Frankfurt and they took the lead. Then it was 1-1, and then Harry Kane, scored from a penalty and they made it 2-1. If you compare the performance from this season, and I know it's a Champions League game, so things may be different, but if you compare that to Real Madrid, who I think is a better team in general. If you just compare Real Madrid to Bayern, I think Real is a better team. But Real Madrid, they are 13 points ahead of second Girona in the table. 1 defeat in the league. Yeah. At home, they are like 14 wins in 16 games. So if the market is telling me that Bayern München has not a huge difference, but still they have the higher probability of winning, and I just can't agree with that, or I don't agree with that. So for me, building a trade around Real Madrid or a draw, so in other way, just laying Bayern München provides value. Provides value because those results is not something that the market really expects. Yeah, so we will benefit from those higher odds. And so, and the beauty of the correct score market is that we can add a score or two where Bayern München wins just to have some cover if we feel it this way. Yeah. So what else? Of course, over 2.5, you can see the market is expecting 3 goals or more, 175 at this very moment for overs. So there is this expectation that the chance of the game going 3 goals is higher than not. And correct score, 0-0 odds are less than 25. They are 18.5, so pretty high, but not as high as would make us rule out this game. Yeah. So, of course, as it often is with teams having equal odds, almost 1-1 is the most probable score on the correct score market. So. Now, if you look at the previous results, you need to take into account, obviously, that it's a Champions League game. So you can't just compare apples to pears, right? So you can't just compare, that much a result like 5-1. It's irrelevant, yeah, because in Champions League Bayern faced Arsenal, now they are facing Real Madrid. Like 5-1 is of those recent results is irrelevant. Now, if we look at Bayern against Arsenal, even look at that just for a second. So these odds are pretty similar to today's odds, yeah? And So what are we saying? Are we saying that Arsenal equals Real Madrid? Really? Really? This is crazy. This is crazy. So Real Madrid is obviously better. Now, Bayern, they defeated Arsenal 1-0 at home, but that was the second game. In the second Champions League game, when you have a rematch, there is always calculations. You can't avoid them. There's always calculating stuff. Okay, we only need a draw. Of course, every team will tell you that in a rematch, we are playing for a win. What else? But there is always that calculations included. So what I tend to look at is rather at the first game, not at the second game, but the first game. So the first game, but it was played in England, in London, it ended 2-2. Arsenal took the lead, then Bayern equalized and gone 2-1. In the end, Arsenal made it 2-2. With regards to the stats, we can easily see that Arsenal was the dominating side. So if we look at 2-2 against Bayern, Real Madrid was facing Manchester City, and you remember, so again in the first game it was 3-3. In the rematch it was 2-1. In terms of the head-to-heads, again, not a lot to compare because those teams last met in 2018. I'm just, this World International Champions Cup is irrelevant. Those Champions League games are also irrelevant because they were played like 6 years ago. But out of curiosity, this was the times when Benzema was playing. But even then, fun fact, Bayern lost to Real Madrid at home. Yeah, they took the lead, but they lost. Okay, now another fun fact is that Carlo Ancelotti didn't lose any game against Bayern, and including when he was the head coach of AC Milan plus Real Madrid. He has 6 wins and 2 draws. And last 3 games where he faced Bayern München as a coach, he won 2-0. So that's, again, it's not that very much relevant, but it's a fun fact. So what can we do? We can look at a standard scoreline and see what comes out of it. So here is the dodging calculator. Here we have the odds. Let us see. So what can we do? We can go, again, removing 0-0, as in the previous example. This is the risk we are accepting. So if I go Real Madrid or draw to start. So we have 14.5 for 1-0. Then we have 19.5. Then we have 42. Then we have 7.8 for 1-1. Then we have 12. We have 25. Yeah. So this is the whole, all the lines where Real Madrid wins or draws. So these are 10 lines without 0-0. Okay. Okay. So that's not good enough. Yeah, out of 100, we would be looking at 75. If we compare that to match odds, we will get probably less because we ruled out 0-0. Yeah, we would be looking at 62.5. So 75 is better, but we've removed 0-0. Now we want to improve on that. So let's go to the correct score market and remove some of the scores. Okay. So in this first game, I am expecting both teams to score. So we'll definitely leave 1-2, 1-3, and 2-2. I would remove 0-1. Okay, so I'm moving this. This is for any other home win to here. So this is 99. So the ratio is now 1-1, and so we have all the scores covered apart from 0-0 and 0-1. Yeah. And then what we can do is we can have a look at whether we want to cover anything that would be Bayern München winning the game. What's the worst result that Real Madrid had? Well, in the league, well, in September they lost 3-1 to Atletico Madrid. Other than that, they just had 1-1 draws. So, yeah. So, we can look at 2-1 or 3-1. 2-1 is 11, depending on the appetite for the risk. 3-1 is 22, so that could be a little bit better. Now I will remove 3-3, so that's 50 out, because if it gets to 3-3, I always say that there will be chances to react. I will also remove 2-3, which is 32, so that's 121. So what do we have remaining? So we have 2-0. So we have 0-2, 0-3, 1-1, 1-2, 1-3, and 2-2. And we have any other away win as well for the odds of 19. If we add to that 3-1 for Bayern München, it's 22, and it's the ratio of 1-1. Adding 2-1 to it, which is 11, would really make this drop to 70. So not that good of a return. Yeah, if we go for a profit of doubling up our stake, it's enough to be at least 50% times correct. Yeah. So this split I like, right? It's 1-1 ratio. We are covering Real Madrid pretty much, and we have this insurance of 3-1 for Bayern München. So again, I hope you like it. This is an example. Again, I'm not telling you, play this way. We'll definitely check the lineups before the game. There may be some last minute injuries. It happened in the past, so definitely check that. But this is, if I was to enter the correct score market today, this is more or less how I would do it. Thinking that, basically Bayern München odds should be higher. And Real Madrid odds should be lower. So if Real Madrid odds should be lower, then these scores where Real Madrid wins or draws have value, right? They are higher than they should be. If we attack those prices, believe me, we will be profitable long term. So that's my thoughts on Real Madrid against Bayern. Thank you very much for watching. Again, I hope you liked it. Yeah, feel free to share your thoughts. I would be more than happy to discuss this game with you. Stay green, enjoy, and we'll hear each other soon. Bye.